Hi everyone, it's Luis again. Listen, today I'm making a video on my Cattleya maxima. And the reason I'm making a video on this, clearly it's not in bloom, so it's not about the bloom. So what I'm going to talk about is what I encountered with this plant that you're going to encounter as an orchid grower. And I'm going to suggest some things that you might want to do to solve the problem. Now, before I go into the plant, I want to point out that Cattleya maxima, there's two forms of the orchid. There's the lowland type and there's also the upland type. And basically what it means is they grow in different elevations. They're the same species, different forms. Now this is the upland form. This is what you would call a smaller version of Cattleya maxima. It's almost a miniature, but not really a miniature. Now, this one's pretty small. It's less than a foot higher. The Cattleya, the lowland Cattleya, it grows closer to the coast at a lower elevation, but it's taller. So if I had one next to it, a Cattleya maxima from the low elevation, it would be twice as high. It ranges between 24-28 inches tall. So when you see a plant labeled Cattleya maxima, you're going to have this type and the bigger type. So, and the difference, or how you grow them, it's slightly different because at a higher elevation, you're going to require cooler intermediate temperatures versus the lowland one where it likes a little bit warmer. Okay, so let's talk about this orchid. Oh, let's talk about labels. The reason I want to talk about labels is because it ties in with this plant. And in a label, you're going to have the name of the plant. And what I like to do is put the dates of when I repotted. As you can see here, it says 4/15. That's when I got it from my friend Kathy. And then over here in the back, I put 5/19. And that's when I repotted here. So why do you want to put the dates? Is because it helps you understand how long it's been sitting in this container. So this is the story behind my plant. I saw some scale on it. So what I did is I took it apart. I took the clips out, because when I repot, especially Cattleyas, you want to stabilize them, because otherwise if it's too wobbly, the roots don't grow into the medium. So I took this apart to clean the scale, and this is what happened. So clearly this is an issue. The story is that when I got it from my friend Kathy in 15, it was in leca pellets. As you can see, there's some leca pellets still in there. And it clearly was not liking it because the root system is not big. It's just there, shallow. So what I did is in May 19, I changed it to here. So it's been sitting here a whole year and it's not doing anything. So what do? And part of it is my fault because I just assumed it was doing great without, closely monitoring. So it's not growing in the roots. So I'm going to point out the problems. The first problem is the container is too big for the plant. And second, I only have 3 drainage holes down there. So the plant is not liking something in the media or is staying too wet. And the signs that I see that it's probably getting too wet is because when you see this, the leaf tips, when they turn black and yellowish, is because water staying in the sheath as the other leaf is coming out. See right here on this one, you can see that the sheath is green, but then the brown is coming from the inside. This happens when water sits on there for too long. So you can see there's several of them that has happened, and I overlooked it. So what I'm gonna do, clearly it's not liking this. So if you encounter this, it's probably because it's staying too wet. The pot it's over potted. So you might want to take it out, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean it really good for scale, and I'm gonna drench it with fungicide, and I'm thinking of mounting it, because if it's not liking that it's staying too wet, then it needs to dry out between waterings. So that's what I'm gonna do, and that's my video on the problem with an orchid that is not putting out any roots, even though you already potted it. So I hope you like my video. I will do a follow-up video on this plant, hopefully after I clean it and I put the fungicide on it. Hopefully it'll put up more roots for me, and hopefully it blooms. Now since this is an upland variety, it might require a little bit cooler to intermediate temperatures. So I might have trouble blooming this, I don't know. But right now it's clearly not blooming for me because it doesn't have a well-established root system. So if you have that problem, this is what you should do. Okay, thanks for watching. I will put an update video of what I did with this plant. Thanks for watching.